Here is a box, a musical box, wound up and ready to play. But this box can hide a secret inside. Can you guess what is in it today?
Now this is part two, okay? Welcome back to part two. Remember the flowers? Right, okay.
You are relying on me keeping a signal going.
Well, this is true. If I lose you, what I'll do is I'll do an impersonation of your voice in the background, or I will dub you on. I'll dub you on after. Okay? Yeah, don't worry. So crackling, misfiring diesel noises in the background will add some authenticity to your deluxe Far Eastern vehicle that you've got. Okay? Right, okay. Right, so onward and upward. So that's it. While I'm sitting with... the next thing that happens, while I'm sitting with Victoria and de-chilling and deciding that, oh, well, hey-ho, such is life, isn't life interesting? I go online and these bunches of flowers are still on offer. Thought, sod it. I, Richard Hope, at the sergeant's desk, will not be downhearted, and I will get some flowers to Victoria's bloody door, in hell or high water. So I order. What? They're 25 quid now. Oh, shit a brick. They've gone up 5 quid. What's a bobby more here? So now that Mother's Day is finished, they've actually gone up in price. Oh, God, I'm not losing sleep over a fiver. I'll pay the fiver and order them. And when are they going to be here? Tomorrow? No, next Wednesday, another week. No, sorry, next Thursday, another week. Oh, for God's sake, I can't put up with this forever. Anyway, sod it. I'm not going to lose. So Victoria knows she's got to get some flowers. I said, that thank you meal that I was going to take you out for when pandemic. He said, well, I've just bought you flowers instead. Sod off. I'm not spending any more money on you. It cost me too much money. She said, fair enough. Right. So off I go. So next morning, not thinking any more about it, at the thought of ringing M&S and asking them, has this lady? I thought it was a bit vindictive, and if they couldn't find any record of her phoning, had she really phoned and somebody's not made a record? And I just thought worse of her for it, so I decided to leave it. So it got to about 10:30, 11. I'm working on some project, right? And a little thing comes up there, a message from M&S. What's that? Confirming my purchase yesterday, 25 quid flat. From the customer service department, Mrs. Bloggs, could you contact the service department and confirm the delivery address for your flowers that were ordered on such and such a day? I have a sneaky feeling that there's something going on here. This something has happened. Has this lady really phoned? So I ring the phone number. Good afternoon, welcome to M&S customer service. That's my worst South African accent. Kevin is in Cape Town. And before we go any further, can I say, Kevin is the nicest customer service person I have ever met. Awesome. He's a big rugby fan. We'll end up talking about the British Lions and everything. But anyway, I'm telling him a story. To start with, I think this is Mr. Marks and Spencer who's going to give me a hard time. But no. Kevin's love. So I tell Kevin the story, during which he's laughing. He's laughing away. I said, I understand your laughter, Kev. It's not a problem. I'm just glad you're a good audience. Mr. Hope, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but it is an hilarious story. Do you mind if I tell my colleagues when I go on my lunch after this call? I said, no, that's fine. So tell me, Kevin, has anybody phoned? Yes, Mrs. Atherton is phoned about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, just after 2, and she's asked where these bleeding flowers have come from. And she's been told to keep them and dispose of them as she wishes. Oh, bloody hell. So she did tell me. Well, for God's sake, why the hell did she lie to her husband and to me? I could only guess, Mr. Hope. Don't worry. Don't worry. No, come on. Let's see if we can sort this out. I said, well, that's sorted out. Okay. Now, seeing how M&S had Victoria's phone number, why the hell didn't they phone Victoria instead of just telling... She could have come across and picked them up, or this Mrs. Atherton could have taken them across there. It wasn't rocket science. I completely agree, Mr. Hope. It seems a very silly decision. I said, right, what we'll do is... and I don't like this. Why have you had to pay extra? Quite right, Kev. Well spotted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you money back for the flowers yesterday. Oh, right, okay. And we'll keep the payment for the previous lot, and we'll let the order go through for the second bunch. Well, that seems a little ironic, isn't it, Kevin, that I'm actually paying for the flowers that Mrs. Atherton has dealt with, and I'm actually getting a free bunch of flowers for Victoria. Yes, it's a little bit, but is that okay? Because it's the easiest way for... Yep, Kevin, it's not a problem. I said, for God's sake, when you come to England, because he's coming to England apparently to work for M&S over here, he said, look me up, and he sent me his email address, and I'm going to send him a copy of this video, because he's been part of the... And M&S, funny enough, have sent me a customer survey saying, how did our representative deal with you? And I tried to put 12 out of 10, but the thing wouldn't let me. So I said 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. He was so nice. So he left me with a smile on my face. So...
But I've run into the vehicle with the bloody trailer in front of me. Listening to this.
Thank you. Well, you just nodded off at the wheel. Just shut up. Right, okay, nearly there. We're nearly. So what am I going to do? Shall I let this ride? I said, no, I'm going to... I feel still a bit guilty that I've been to this lady's door. So I've designed a mug for her, and I've got it on screen. And because I wanted a mug instantly, it's one of my mugs that I bought, and you can actually draw right on the mugs, okay? And I've done a design. And you can't see it, Mike, but just to describe it, it's got a flower in the middle and a rainbow and birds and a sun and flowers, and it's very pretty. And it says on it, to the lady who lives at number 9, I'm so sorry for being angry when I was at your door. And then you turn to the other side. But please remember, honesty is always the best policy. Best wishes, Richard. And I'm going to pop that on her doorstep, knock on the door, and walk away this afternoon. And that, my friends, as they say, is that. I don't know what the moral of this tale is. I've worked out there's Martin Lewis, myself, M&S, Mrs. Atherton. The 4 of us are to blame. I'm not going to apportion the blame to any particular one of us, but I think I'm probably, at least quarter. I'd say a third is hers, is mine. A third is M&S for not phoning Victoria, and then a bit of the others for Martin Lewis and Mrs. Atherton can have a 6th each. But other than that, such is mine. I hope you enjoyed my story. Did you enjoy it, Michael?
I certainly did. And can I have Mrs. Atherton's address again?
Why?
Well, she sounds a very interesting person.
I think she's a very nice person, and just
maybe
two.
you could do with a bit of comforting.
Well, exactly. Can I just say, just as partly the explanation of why she perhaps told untruths to myself and Mark, who, when we Victoria's husband, is we're both quite large men. Mark's about 6'3", built like a brick privy, and is is Portuguese and looks as if he'd eat you for lunch. And I'd actually eat you for dinner. And I'm 20. Well, I'm just under 21 stone now. And again, not a pretty sight on a dark evening. So that's probably one of the reasons why she tells lies. But I hope you've enjoyed the story, and I'm going to enjoy editing this. Thank you to you, Michael, for being an audience, because it makes it so much easier to tell a story to somebody. And
Well, may I just say that it's made the last 200 miles quite pleasant.
can I just say, if you've managed to go 200 miles in the time that it's told me, you cheeky rascal. Listen, Michael, safe journey. Hope everything turns out all right down south, and I'll see you when I get back.
Okay.
Cheers, mate.
Then.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye. Well, there's Mike's safely on his way. A little tip, by the way: don't use your phone in the car. And when I say don't use your phone, I mean don't use it hands-free either. Now, in all seriousness, the research says that is just about as dangerous as using it with it in your hand. No, you don't. Yeah. Well, just think about it. Next time you do it, just think about, while I was on the phone, how much do I remember about what happened during my journey? And if you're trying to find your way somewhere, is it at those moments that you forget where you're going because you're on the phone? Just bear it in mind, trust me. But thankfully, Mike's a very experienced driver. He's up and down to his relative, his friend, quite often to make sure they're well. And I wish him well and thank him. And thank you all for the time and you give me, and the due respect as well. And I love you all, and especially Victoria and Mrs. Atherton. Okay, bye-bye. Well, good evening. There is a postscript. I eventually got to see Mrs. Ashworth, and I presented her mug, and she was chuffed to bits, and she was at pains to say that she was sorry for what had happened, and that she had actually lost sleep since the day, and she was glad that we'd had the opportunity of clearing the air. So I did take the opportunity of asking her what was the reason that this misunderstanding took place, and she did confirm that it was the fact she was on her own in the house. She'd already just phoned Marks and Spencer's a relatively short time before, and suddenly this very large gentleman appears at the door and starts asking has she had a delivery. At which point she had to make a split-second decision and just happened to come up with 2 and 2 equals 5, and just made the wrong decision. But no damage is done. No persons have been injured in the making of this video, and we all live happily ever after. And on that note, I wish her well, I wish Victoria well, and I hope Victoria enjoys her flowers, and I wish you good night.